How y'all doing tonight? Tonight we're going to make another one of these American Asian dishes or whatever, American Chinese I guess you would say. General Tso's chicken, I believe how you pronounce it. It's spelled T-S-O, but they say the T is silent, so General Tso's chicken I guess. It's one of my favorite dishes. It's a little sweet, a little spiciness to it. It's a really good dish. It's kind of similar to that sesame chicken I made last time, but a little bit different. This is something I've been really wanting to make. So when we get started, we got to make the chicken, kind of build the batter, so to speak. I've got the chicken down here, and this time I'm using chicken breast. I just took some chicken breast and actually let it marinate last night, cut up. I marinated these in, I just took a can of pineapple chunks in the juice, poured in there, and then what else? I put in a little bit of soy sauce, probably about 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, and a little bit of hot chili sauce. You don't have to do that. I just wanted to do it just to add a little bit more flavor. And we'll drain off any excess marinade that I may have in there from that. Because we're going to go ahead and get started on building the batter, and it actually has some marinade in it as well. So let's see what we need. First off, I'm going to put a little bit of black pepper down, just some fresh ground black pepper. That's about, I would say that's probably about a tablespoon of black pepper. Then about a tablespoon of kosher salt. Then I've got some of this Chinese rice wine. I've got about 2 tablespoons of it. Now I'm going to mix this together. Let me find a whisk real quick. So I'm going to kind of mix that in, the salt, pepper, and the rice wine. Then what we'll do, we'll add a little bit of egg whites. I've got about 4 large egg whites. I'm going to put those in there. So we can give it some good flavor. And like I said, I marinated this in a little bit of soy sauce with some pineapple juice and a little bit of a red pepper sauce. So I'm not going to put any soy sauce in this. I will put some soy sauce in the sauce, the actual sauce itself. Now I'm going to add a cup and a half of cornstarch. You know, I'm using 3 pounds of chicken here. You can scale this recipe back if you want to do like 1 pound. Just do a third of everything I'm doing. But let's go ahead and we'll stir this together with this, and this will make kind of the batter. I'm probably going to have to do this over the sink because this is liable to get really messy. But we'll do it anyway. I'll clean the counter off. Just kind of get all that in there. And a whisk is probably not the right thing I should be using at this point. Probably just have to get in there with my hands. Let's see. It said you can mix this all together in the bowl with the chicken as well, but I figured it'd be a little bit easier to make this slurry and then transfer it over to the chicken. So just kind of do that, transfer most of what you can over here, and it's really thick. They said it's going to look crazy, but don't worry about it. So let's see, and I'm going to just mix this in with the chicken. This is going to get a good coating. This is going to actually be the breading for the chicken as well. And the chicken's got a lot of moisture in it too, so that's going to thin this out some. And I tell you what, this is some sticky stuff. I mean, this is like, whew, there's some serious paste. So that's what we'll do. Get that out like that. I'll see if I can get a little bit more of that out of that bowl and add in there. But I'm just going to let this sit for about 20 minutes. And after that, we'll go ahead and fry the chicken. But let that sit for about 20 minutes. Probably the best thing I should have done is put the liquid in there before I put the cornstarch in. I may have to add a little bit of cornstarch to this. So put all your liquid ingredients in there on the chicken, and then sprinkle the cornstarch on top and mix it all. Now we're going to put together the sauce. Now the sauce you want to put together cold before you start to put the chicken in it and stuff like that. And you'll see why here in a little bit. First we're going to start off with 2 2 1/4 cups chicken broth. I'm gonna go ahead and just put it in the container and we'll hold the sauce in. Then we'll take, let's see, 4 1/2 tablespoons of light soy sauce. Put that in there. I've got 3 tablespoons of dark soy sauce. I've got 9 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar. Let's just hope we can fit this all in here. I've got 3, let's see, not 3, I've got 1 tablespoon of rice wine, a nice sweet Chinese rice wine. Got 9 tablespoons of just white sugar, granulated sugar. Get that stirred in really well. Good enough. I'm going to put in about 3 tablespoons of hoisin sauce and 1 tablespoon of chili sauce. This is optional as far as the chili sauce goes. I just like to add a little bit of heat to mine. Stir that in. Last but not least, I've got some cornstarch. About 3 tablespoons worth. And we want to go ahead and add this in here cold. Just stir it in. Tell you what, this cornstarch and anything that's got a little bit of moisture in, you got to be careful about putting it in there as far as your containers, because it sure will stick to them. So I'm just going to stir that in there, make that like a slurry, and we'll set this aside while we fry the chicken up in a few minutes. And it's great you can already have this ready, you know, ready to go. That should be good enough. So I've got my wok filled with peanut oil, got that nice and hot. Now it's time we're going to start loading it with some of this chicken. And the chicken turned out really nice. I mean, the coating is really nicely stuck to it. So I'm going to take little pieces of chicken, lower them down into the oil. Just make sure my heat's up. And also got a drying rack sitting next to it. About, let's see, it was about 9 pieces in there. We'll set my time for about 4 minutes. We'll let them just go. Actually, these didn't take 4 minutes. They only took about 3. And once you see them floating, they get that nice golden brown. Go ahead and take them off and put them on a drying rack and get ready for the next batch. That's what, you know, you want to get them nice, crispy, brown crust on them. And that's what we did. Really beautiful looking. Let my oil recover for just a minute. You want to let it come back up to temperature. Make sure it's plenty hot for the next batch. And go ahead and start putting those in. The timer going off for the 4 minutes. And what I do is I let these go about 2 minutes. You notice they'll sink down at the bottom. Sometimes they'll stick on the bottom, but if you kind of scrape them up off that bottom with your spatula or whatever, after about 2 minutes they'll come up pretty easily. Don't worry if you spill some of this on the side of the wok, because it comes right off after it cooks really quickly. It's almost like a pancake batter or something. Pops right off. Go ahead with those and let those go for about 3 minutes. Now I got all the chicken pieces fried up. I'm going to put them in a warm oven while we build a sauce. Now for this step, with this particular dish, you want to switch out and go with something non-stick. You want to put the wok away for now, because with all that starch and stuff in the sauce, it's gonna mess your wok up. You're gonna be scrubbing out wok. You don't want to be scrubbing out wok and scrubbing the patina off of it, or that slick surface. So I'm letting the wok cool. I've got a non-stick skillet here. Put a little bit of olive oil in there, a little bit, okay? Something like that. Turn it up to about a medium-high heat. Get out my favorite spatula if I can find it. There you go. Go ahead, start that. Just move that all around, and we're going to start building this great sauce. Let's go ahead and take about a tablespoon and a half of ginger, minced ginger, and about the same measurement of garlic. Well, in fact, I want to put one other ingredient in there first. Got some chili peppers, some dried Thai chili peppers. I like some heat in mine. So I'm going to let these saute for just a minute here in oil. I don't want to take a chance to burn that garlic or anything. I want these to saute just a little bit, because I want to kind of bring out all the essence of these. You'll notice I left the seeds, but I did slice the peppers, and the reason I did that, make them easier to chew. If you leave these things whole, it just, they're a pain when you get a hold of one of them. To me, it's just like, oh, see, like this one here, I'm going to snip that guy in half. And just, you'll start to smell these. As soon as you start to smell them, I'll add the not the chili, I'll add the garlic and the ginger. Basically what I'm doing is to keep these moving, and you want to just saute them just a little bit, just to bring out the essential oils. So like that, and you can vaguely smell what's going on there. So I'm going to add the ginger and the garlic. Turn my heat down a little bit, because you don't want to scorch that garlic. You can really smell some stuff going on now. Now I'm about to run and get that cold sauce. Turn the heat back up to a medium high. We're going to add this cold sauce here to the peppers and the garlic and the ginger. There we go. Everybody's in the party now. Now, turn the heat to about medium. I'm going to let this just come up to a simmer. It's going to really build a nice sauce here. I've decided in this situation, I'm going to turn this on low for a little bit. I'm just going to let it simmer and gradually come up to a nice simmer. Just tenderize those peppers just a little bit more. Now my sauce here has been cooking for about 10 or 12 minutes, and you can see it's really starting to thicken up. But you don't have to cook it that long. I was just waiting on my rice to cook. I wanted to tender these peppers up, so I decided to cook that long. So now I'm going to turn up just a hair. I'm going to keep stirring it, let it get just a little bit thicker. And as soon as it does, I'm going to start adding my chicken in here. As soon as it starts to bubble. Now, just as it starts to bubble like that, stir it just a bit. I add some of this chicken. Wow, this smells awesome. It's just really, really good. Just keep adding the chicken. What we're going to do is going to kind of toss this chicken in this sauce. I've also got something else Another good surprise one put in here. Let's see. Should be about enough chicken for now. Let's put that much in there. Now I've got some green onions. Fresh green onion sliced in there. That'll be real good. What we'll do, just kind of mix all this around. Let it just simmer. And we'll turn this back down to low. But you just want to do this until all the chicken gets coated and the green onions kind of wilt just a little bit. Now I can see this could take a little bit more chicken because we got a lot of sauce here. A lot of sauce. Try to get all this chicken in here. Anyway, I'm going to get this chicken in here. I'm going to stir it around a little bit and I'll be right back. Now after just a minute or two, you see the green onions have wilted like that. It is ready to serve. It smells fabulous. Tasty little pieces, really awesome. We're going to go ahead and serve this up with some rice. Now in my opinion, the best way to serve this up is family style with a little bit of rice. It looks awesome. Going to give it a nice taste here. Taste a piece of this chicken. It looks fabulous, and this is one of my favorite Chinese dishes, is Kung Pao chicken. I'm just hoping, and I'm sure it will be, that this one's just as good as the stuff I've had in the restaurant. Tell you what, this is better. This is really better than most stuff I've had around here. It's the chicken's really tender. The crust is not too thick. A lot of times the problem with your crust, with this dish right here, is you get more crust than anything else. You really can't chew through it. There's excellent crust to it, excellent sweetness, heat, everything else. Really gotta try this one. A+.